What's up, everybody? Shauna D Man here, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are having a great week, depending on when you are watching this. If you are new to the Nerd Talk channel, be sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're watching on a Rumble, feel free to hit that follow button as well. We are back with another episode and a brand new guest. I will shift it over them, and then we will get started. So take it away.
Hi everyone, my name is Tara. I go by Teramisu cosplays on multiple different platforms. I'm mostly active on TikTok and Instagram, but I do have a Blue Sky. And I also have a Facebook account if that's one of the platforms you use. I am someone who is really involved within the cosplay community. I do a lot with my nonprofit. That's with the nonprofit I'm involved in called Mental Wellness in Cosplay. I am the project director, and I am someone who was helped co-found it. Right now, we're focusing on featuring cosplayers and getting their stories out there to normalize and kind of break some stigma down that comes towards the cosplay community. And I am also doing things on my own on the side, talking about current issues and also helping cosplayers feel that they can relate better to each other, kind of bring the community back together as much as I possibly can. That's what I usually do.
Okay. So let's start with this. What got you into cosplaying?
Funny story. The way I got into cosplay, so I grew up on anime. I loved it. I watched Naruto from start to finish. I loved it.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched a bunch of other things, but Naruto was my main thing because Tsunami, fantastic times growing up. But I had a friend who knew I liked anime and was saying, hey, there's a cosplay shoot. This is an undergraduate, so 2013. I kind of aged myself there. That's fine. 2013, my friend came up to me like, hey, there's a cosplay shoot. I know you don't know what cosplay is. Find an anime, find a character, throw a cosplay together. There's a shoot in a week. Go. I'm like, okay, sure. So I threw everything together that I possibly could. My mom taught me how to sew growing up, and I sewed things together because in 2013, you couldn't really find much online. There wasn't YouTube tutorials. There wasn't really any sites that were up and running at the time that maybe took like months to get a cosplay to you, or even ones that even got to you. There was a lot of like kind of those sketchy sites at the time, but
Right.
it's amazing to see how much it's grown since then. But I loved it. And I was like, I would like to keep doing this. Is there any events I can go to that does this? And started going to cons that year.
Okay. So how many? Usually, I ask this question because typically it depends on, where the cosplayer is located and things like that. But for you, how many cons do you typically go to each year?
It started off just 3, and now it's growing into the teens.
Oh, really? A
Yeah,
year?
a year.
Is
Yep.
that like with part of you just going just to enjoy it, and then another part is just maybe more of your work related uh time, or what does that look like since you are up in the teens when going to these cons?
It's a mix of both. I go to cons for myself and for my friends and just to enjoy them, but it's turning more into going for panels, the community, and reaching out and also guesting. That hasn't started yet, but I have been requested to guest at a few cons
Okay.
as of recently, which is still mind blowing to me that that's happening. But that's why my attendance is starting to go up more, and I
Mm,
want to try to start going to other cons across the country as
okay.
well.
So tell us some of the cons that you have been to.
I go to cons, small, large, doesn't matter. If there's a con, I want to check it out. Anywhere from free cons to cons that cost $120 for a badge. I would say, get me in there. I want to
Oh,
see there. I want to see what they got. See how their community is run. Be around the culture. Be around my people.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Um, what are some cons that you have not yet gone to, but they're basically like on your bucket list of ones you want to attend?
Many, many, many. I've only ever gone to cons in my home state of Ohio. So I'm trying to go to more outside of that because I hear a bunch of wonderful cons that happen in Michigan, Maryland, Florida, just broaden my horizon.
Mm. Okay, that's pretty cool. What was your first the process? Obviously, you started relatively young with cosplaying and everything like that. What was your first cosplay, and what was that process like for you? Obviously, creating now, because obviously some cosplayers create, do it themselves, and then others obviously go out and may buy it due to budget restraints and things like that. But for you, what was it like creating your first cosplay?
So my first cosplay was Maka from Soul Eater. Resonated with her instantly. And I had a plaid skirt that matched and a yellow tank top. So I went to a thrift store with my mom. We found a jacket that was similar and we tore it to shreds and sewed it back together. So with that being said, with me only having a week to sewing together this cosplay, my first experience cosplaying was Con Crunch.
Okay.
Like, get it together. I don't care if all of the threads are like this. Don't look at don't look at the thread. Don't look at the seams. It's fine.
What's been the hardest cosplay for you to make?
Oh man, the hardest cosplay for me to make. One that I completed is Calamity Ganon. I from The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I made a humanoid version of him. I made in a full EVA armor suit, which I learned not to use wood glue that time around with the EVA foam because
Oh,
I overheated. Because when you use wood glue, it likes to make it so the EVA foam can't breathe and it doesn't move with you. But it
okay.
had 12 armor pieces with it, and I made Ganon's spirit that I had on a PVC pipe that I also painted, and it had tulle off of it and it lit up. Very intricate.
What's a cosplay that the majority of people will recognize you whenever you go to cons or just whatever. What's that number one cosplay?
Number one cosplay has to be my Lucifer cosplay from Has Been Hotel. That
Okay.
was one I debuted around February last year, and it's been kind of like my staple at all conventions.
Oh, okay, okay. Uh, I take it you're a big Has Been Hotel fan.
I am, yes.
Listen, I don't blame you. I think Hell of a Boss had been out for quite some time before I came around to it, and then
Mhm.
Has Been Hotel. Everybody was talking about it, and I think I watched it maybe a couple of months after it came out. I think they recently, well, I know they recently a couple of months ago at a con they did like a little promo tease, like a potential crossover between the two, series, and then I think the other day, maybe this week, they did a small little teaser for season two. I haven't actually not seen that yet, so I that's on my list to check out for this weekend. But what so was Hell of a? I assume you also watched Hell of a Boss 2 as
Yeah.
well. Which obviously I'm sure it's hard for you to pick, but which one is your favorite? Which one do you lean more towards?
Honestly, hell of a boss. I love the energy of the show.
Yeah,
The sarcasm, the dry humor, that's right up my alley. I love that type of humor.
I agree. I enjoy because I believe Moxie. I forgot the voice actor, but he does Invader Zim, and
Mhm.
Invader Zim has always been one of my favorite TV series as a kid. Um, and I love it. It's just cool. I love it. Now, Hell of a Boss, I like it. It took me a little bit to get into. I was like, oh, this is a lot going on here. But once I got into it, I was like, you know what? Kind of vibing this Alistair character here. And I probably would say the character I very much like really enjoyed watching was Angel Dust. I was like, you know
Okay.
what? I really like this character. I like
Mhm.
the story arc that they did with the character. I was like, I kind of like this. And then obviously Keith David is well known from multitudes of like different projects. So
Oh yeah.
obviously he's I'm gonna like him regardless.
He's
Um,
wonderful
so
actor.
what was it like? Speaking of the two series,
Yes.
what was it like watching Hell of a which one did you watch first?
Hell of a boss.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
What was it like watching that for the first time compared to watching Hazbin Hotel for the first time?
When I first watched Helva Boss, it was way too much for me. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, this is I compared it to Happy Tree Friends. If you're a millennial, you probably know what I'm talking about. Do you know Happy Tree Friends?
I've heard of it, but I have never seen it.
It's deceptively cute fuzzy animals with the gory theme of Helva Boss. And that's pretty much Happy Tree Friends.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yeah, it kind of surprised me at first. I'm like, you know what? I don't know if I really like this. But then the character Blitz came on stage and on screen, and he very
love
similar
him.
sense of humor. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll give this another chance. I kept watching. I got more used to the themes of the show and ended up liking it more and more. Are you looking at that right now? No.
Well, I was thinking of Hell of a Boss, and then I was just thinking of one of my favorite episode of it. Let me see if one of my favorite episodes. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It was the Antarctica episode, and let me see. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can make this work. It should be fine. Let's see. Oh no, that's not. Oh, okay, no, this works. I think it's. Let's go to this one. We'll do this one. But my favorite part. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but like my favorite part is it's like right here after they just dealt with this little war. Let me see.
Look! Drop him! Shit. Fuck, that's like 10.
Well, maybe those ones are nice.
They're not!
It's just, I just love that. It's just the way Blitz just yells drop him, and then I just love I love it. I love the show. It's a good show. It's wild for sure, and definitely took me a lot to get like into it, but I really loved it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Hellverse was something that was when I first started it. When I finished both seasons, I was a series, and I was like, okay, maybe it's something that I'll just kind of like on the side. And then the Has-Been community found my cosplay of Lucifer, and I received an overwhelming amount of support, and I was not used to it because I was already a content creator 3 years prior to that, and didn't really get a lot of like, I guess, recognition, and it was kind of like a little cozy corner where I just kind of did it for fun. And then everything just skyrocketed after that. I got overwhelming support, and it made me fall in love with the series, both series, more and more and more, because I found a community that was not only just supportive of a cosplayer, but of each other. And that's really drew me in.
Okay. Yeah, I remember like there was, I guess not controversy, but like I know a lot of people, because I saw it mainly on TikTok, but I saw a lot of people kind of talk about how maybe some people should not be cosplaying as Angel Dust. And so I know that was like a big thing that a lot of people were like outspoken about. It's like, hey, great that you like the character, but I don't think you should be cosplaying this character. And so I don't know if you have, other than like an example like that, has there been a convention or something you've seen online where you're kind of like, maybe you shouldn't cosplay this character? I know a lot of people like to cosplay the character they like, but I know there's I think a line that people are like, this is fine, but don't. I swear people were talking about a certain person the other week I saw, because they were doing like blackface or something like that. I don't remember what it was.
Oh my gosh.
You probably know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. Because yeah. I'm not too involved or pay that much attention to that kind of stuff, but what you can go about your thoughts on that kind of situation and those kind of things.
Yeah, would it be okay if I get really deep for a moment about Angel
Yeah,
Dust?
go ahead. That's fine. Go ahead. Yeah.
So, as someone who can relate to Angel Dust and has experienced the themes that that character has gone through, I really do not think it's okay for anyone under the age of 18 to be cosplaying that character because of what it exposes them to.
Right.
There's unfortunately people who do glorify what he went through, and no one who is a minor should ever experience feeling that Angel Dust's situation is being glorified through them. I don't think that's okay, and it's a safety concern. And same with anyone who cosplays of this series and this universe. There is a lot of adult themes, and a lot of those adult themes children are not ready to experience. And we're learning it all in one go and in a potentially very traumatizing way is not the way a person should be exposed to these themes. In terms of what you were talking about, what happened with the blackface, there was 2 cosplayers, I believe it was 2, that decided that Alistair needed a full black face of makeup, and that is completely not okay. It is completely an irrational thought to even try to defend that. We have evolved past the point of needing to even have that conversation, and it's very disappointing that that still happens within the cosplay community. Now, anyone of any ethnicity, size, shape, whatever age, like 70, 80, 90 years old can cosplay. But we should not be changing our skin tones or changing our ethnicity. Cosplay who you want using what you have.
Okay.
That's my view on it.
That's fair. I mean, that's a fair view. Yeah, and like, because thinking back to Has Been Hotel, like that, like the primary episode focused on Angel Dust. Like, I had to like actually like pause the episode. And I rarely pause episode unless there's like specific reasons. But like I had to like pause. I was like, I don't really know if I really want to like finish this episode because it was just like very traumatizing. And I was just like, I know what they were doing and I know the route that they were going, but it was just kind of like it's like Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. Like, do I really need to like see that? Like, do I really need to see like basically incest happen? I was like, I don't think I really need to see that. I understand, I know what you're getting at, but it was a very like definitely like tough episode to get through. But that's probably why Angel Dust has become one of like, you know, a very favorite character of mine. It's just because I thought they did a really good job of where the character started at the beginning to the end of the at least season 1. I'm curious to see what they do in season 2 with this character because they definitely added layers. Just watching towards the end of like Stan, I forgot what the main guy's name that he works for, but yeah, just watching stand up to that character, protecting Nifty and the little psychotic demon, which I also love. I love that character as well. I would love to have a character like that. Cleaning could definitely improve, but you know what? It's the thought that counts.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a very good character for sure. You mentioned at the beginning, you do like a nonprofit, and you talk about kind of like you're trying to like dispel some of the not niches, but probably like stereotypes of cosplayers. Can you go into a little bit of that and just explain what are some stereotypes that people hear, and just go from there?
Yeah. The main stereotype that we're working on trying to break down is that cosplay is something that people should be ashamed of. It's not, because cosplay is an art form and art has always been a form of expression. And just because a art style is not particularly your style doesn't mean that other people can't enjoy it. So there's multiple different ways of doing art, photography, painting, drawing, both digital and traditional. There's also modeling, like there's bird watching, that can be an art form, etc. Like there's multiple different ways to do art, and cosplay deserves to also be in that category. It's not something that should be shamed. In fact, it's a very brave thing to do, especially in today's world where we see someone like something that's different or not like what the typical person you likes, and people who like things like cosplay know what reaction they're going to get from the outside world. So it is brave to step into that, just like it is brave to express yourself, because we usually know the response we're going to get, just shame, teasing, mocking, etc. And that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to show it as like a strong way of expressing yourself, because you are putting yourself out there, you're making yourself the canvas.
Okay. Was that anything like you experienced when you first started, or 'cause I know growing up, I don't think I had nerdy friends, but I don't know if I had anybody who actually like cosplayed. Um, but I did go to my first one a couple years ago. I was like, you know what? I like this. This is pretty cool. These are cool people. Plus my friend Amanda cosplayed as Keita from Atlantis, and so I was like, oh, this. Well, I was not expecting to see you here, but I enjoyed this. This is nice. But did you ever experience anything like that?
Yes, I've actually still a bit afraid to cosplay in public.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've one particular memory. I used to be a Legend of Zelda cosplayer, so I cosplayed at Midna from Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, and I was walking down the street. This is downtown Columbus. We were walking back to our hotel, and it was this bachelorette party that went by. And I remember the bride turning to me, giving me the nastiest look, and just going, "Oh, what a party pooper!" And almost, like, tried to throw her drink at me, but her bridesmaid stopped her, and it was just because I was in a costume, minding my own business. I didn't even look at them. I looked away, actually. Gave them as much space as possible, but
Right.
yeah, I've experienced some stuff.
What what are you doing in your everyday life to like improve that?
So to improve my cosplays, or to
Improve like working towards like getting to the point to where you know what, I'm gonna go out, I enjoy cosplay, I'm gonna go out in public, that kind of thing.
I do it scared. And I'm someone, fight or flight, I'm a freeze. And I normally will stand at my door, be absolutely terrified, but I do it scared, and I just go outside. I film a few things. I try to film in my backyard as much as I can. I've started to become known as the residential cosplayer.
Oh.
Yes. Luckily, I live in a pretty accepting community. Actually, a couple of times, even though I hid behind my friend who was helping me film, I was outside in a full cosplay. It's actually one that's pinned at the top of my Instagram, is with the black wings and the white hair. And someone stopped and went, and I was like, oh no, I've been seen by my friend, even though it was positive. I was just like, nope, I don't want them to be embarrassed. But just do it scared and just sit there. Even when I want to hide, I say thank you. And then if they ask me questions, I answer them.
Do a little scared, but you get through it.
I've learned how to describe cosplay, like the way I described to you, as with it being an art form. I've learned how to describe it to people. Like, I actually recently did a shoot in the middle of a public park in a relatively wealthy neighborhood as Freerin, and I did have a few people ask me questions, and I described it in a way that made it beautiful, and they actually were interested and went to go watch Freerin that night.
Okay, hey, listen, that works out. That's good. What's a obviously people have had their own bad experiences at cons and things like that. Do you have maybe not recent memory, but do you have a story of like a bad experience that you had at a con?
Yes, actually, and unfortunately, this is my most recent con I was at. So one of the things that I do, my brand is, quote unquote brand, is gender affirming cosplays. So I teach how to make cosplay gender affirming for anyone upon the LGBTQ scale. And what I've done is I make modifications to give myself more of a masculine figure or emphasize more feminine figure that I have. So one day I was Charlie from Hazbin Hotel, which is Lucifer's daughter, and I had this long blonde hair. I had feminine makeup on. I actually had my jacket off, and it was in a white button-up. And what had happened to me when I was sitting off to the side taking a break, his man came over and kind of what they call a Commandant, whatever it's called, where they trap you against the wall.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
Came over and did that to me, and he's like, "Charlie, what are you doing?" I was like, what am I looking at right now?" I went, "You're looking at a very overstimulated, overwhelmed cosplayer who needs a break." But I was very honest because one, I was already uncomfortable.
Right.
Two, he kept going. And he just started loudly talking about the hotel and Hazbin Hotel and was trying to be a little bit, was being pretty flirty with me, and was not. I it was being pretty blunt about not wanting to talk to.
He wasn't picking up what you were throwing down.
I think he was, but
okay.
Luckily it was saved by my husband walking, and he was cosplaying Lucifer. We shared the cosplay. He was like, "I miss wearing him. I know you're cosplaying Charlie, but I miss wearing Lucifer. Can I wear him when you're Charlie?" That to clarify, that's why we did that. But I looked over and he's like, "Oh, it's Lucifer. Oh my, what a perfect timing. Hey, come talk to me. Come talk to this Charlie with me." I'm like, "Actually, that's my husband."
Oh.
He got the point pretty quickly, luckily, and walked away after that. But I just find it kind of interesting because the next day, if I receive any flirty like advances when I was Lucifer, and I've been told I can pass pretty well as a man when I cosplay Lucifer, Adam, or Human Alistair, and the most flirting I get is, "Oh, you're messing with your cosplay. Do you need help?" And it's like usually I'm like messing like right here, so people are like, "Oh, can I help you with your tie?" or something like that. It's like very mild, like peaceful kind of flirting. Like, I appreciate that, but no, thank you. And they usually take that pretty well. But it's just the opposite when I was cosplaying a female character, and it was predatory, and I'm the same person. It's completely different sides of the spectrum there. And I did walk by that person again when I was Lucifer, and no, I didn't recognize me.
Really?
Or if he did, I don't know. But
probably remembered you had a husband.
Probably that too. But so. it was just, I've had that happen before where I was at a con where I wasn't with my husband, and I just like switched cosplays and just different reactions entirely.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's the hardest cosplay? Yeah, what's the hardest cosplay that you've done up to this point?
I want to say Calamity Ganon again, because of how much work went into that. Because I made everything. I made the armor piece. I painted all of it. In fact, I actually planned on making the full body that I was going to go and compete at a con. But unfortunately, that cosplay got ruined. So rest in peace. Maybe one day it will come back. But since I already talked about that one, I'll go ahead and pick another one. There was one the character's called Lord Diavolo from the dating sim called Obey Me. And that cosplay I did in a month. Actually, it does have a pretty sad backstory to it. That cosplay I was working really hard on to compete and do my first like official competition without rushing the cosplay. And unfortunately, 2 weeks prior to the competition, one of my best friends passed away.
Oh.
I had a very hard time working on anything, and he was actually going to be a groomsman in our wedding. He was going to be our officiant, and I didn't work on it for 2 weeks, and 40 hours before the competition, I went to go drop out, and this friend of mine would have wanted me to compete because he's always been so excited whenever I make any cosplays. I dropped out and I went, nope, he wouldn't want me to do that. Especially if it was something that I did that, what was I going to say there? especially considering the circumstances, he would want me to go ahead and compete. So I pulled a 40-hour marathon because I thought I had 5 hours of work left, but I was learning how to do everything at the same time. I had no idea how to attach horns. I had to try to figure out how to make 3 wings. That I've made a set of wings before, but it was mostly like just like flat cutout wings that just hung off my back. These were 4 of them that were sticking up. One that's pinned to the top of my page. And I was working with Warbler, which I'd never worked with before. I did woodworking, and I was also imitating metal with fabric and foam.
That sounds like quite the ordeal.
Oh yeah, I also did metalworking with that cosplay.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of work, but I did it. I slept for an hour, drove to the con, competed, and got the judges award.
Oh, okay. There you go. So you also missed it. So are you excited to be because I think you said this would be your first time being a judge. Are you pretty excited about that?
I'm actually not going to be a judge, but I know I've been requested to come be a cosplay guest whenever cons are ready to start accepting guests. So I'm gonna be doing that. I want to do it. I want to be a cosplay judge, but my main goal with being a cosplay guest is helping people with their cosplays, because that's what I do. I do workshops. Actually, I would do workshops online and in person, and I teach people how to make cosplay. That's what I like to do.
One of the cool things I've seen at cons, because I've been to, I have at least 2 where I live. There's one that's about, I guess, maybe about 40 minutes away, and then the other is about 2 hours away. But I mainly seen this at Dragon Con. But I always love seeing basically cosplay medics. Like if you rip something or something's broken, they'll show up and try their best to get you patched up and on your way. I always love seeing that.
I always applaud whenever I see a cosplay medic. Like, we love you. Keep doing this. We need you, please.
So what you bet you like the anime. So tell us some of the anime that you're pretty big into.
I am really big into Demon Slayer. I actually cosplay Tanjiro, and he's one of my favorites. I'm also really big in, of course, Freerun. I've watched so much anime. I like mostly shonens. I love shonens. That and psychological horrors are pretty fun. It was always interesting. I do cosplay, from Future Diary. I do some Halloween content with that. But for context, I'm a scare actor as well. I do scare acting, and did it professionally, and now I do it for Halloween time for my pages and stuff. That is mostly behind on I do have a Patreon, and that's behind that because I do enjoy special effects makeup, and most platforms like TikTok are not very fond of even fake blood. That's why I moved to Patreon for that. Yes. But there's there's so many animes I can't name them off the top. But I'm mostly into video games. That is where my main focus is. Like I said, I started off as a Legend of Zelda cosplayer, and I've cosplayed from a bunch of other video games. I'm actually making a Pyra cosplay, and my husband's going to be cosplaying Rex, so I'm making both of those cosplays for a con next year, which I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah, I just went and saw The Conjuring Last Rites last weekend.
Nice.
And I have been a fan. Maybe not all of the movies, but the main 4 I just enjoyed, and it was even better because I was in a pretty packed theater, and so there were people screaming and everything at jump scares, and it was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. And then I'm actually because I also have, besides this, I also have a primary gaming channel. That I do, which is typically the main focus, because when I first started, it was pretty much everything in one place. So I had gaming, movie reviews, TV show reviews. The first 74 episodes of the Nerd Talk podcast are on that location, and I just left them there because it was just too much of a hassle to bring them over. You guys just stay here. Yeah. And so we are I'm getting ready to do, because last year what I did was for the gaming channel, we played nothing but horror movies. And so, no, not horror, well, horror movies and games. And so I would go and like buy games that like indie games from small time developers, and we would play that on the channel. Very much enjoyed it. And then we watched a couple episodes of Goosebumps as well. So that was a very fun time. Very much enjoyed that.
That's wonderful. That's like right up my alley. I like playing video horror games as well.
We're gonna do a like a Halloween stream event on, I think I have it. I'm planning on it for October 25th. I have some people who are previous guests on the channel and everything. They're gonna come back, and we're gonna do like Phasmophobia, Dead by Daylight, and yeah, we're just gonna hang out and just be scared, I guess.
Yes, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, and so I'm very excited for it. I had wished the Friday the 13th game was still going. I really enjoyed that game.
I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Oh, it was great. And then they're coming out. I'm even more excited because I did a video talking about, because this was during Gamescom, maybe like 3 weeks ago. But they're coming out with a Halloween Michael Myers video game.
Yes.
And the way it's described is kind of like Dead by Daylight and the Friday the 13th game, where you could either have 5 people. One of them is Michael. Everybody else is just trying to escape or kill Michael. And then they're even adding a single player mode, so I'm very interested in that. So
that's interesting.
I know. I was like, you guys have you've piqued my interest. So I'm very excited for that.
And that's interesting that they're making it kind of like a Dead by Daylight kind of themed, but then the single player, that is fascinating. I'm excited to see that.
They came out with a small little trailer for it. Did you not see it?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I haven't really been into the now with games since I stopped working at GameStop.
That's fair. GameStop is it is something.
Yeah, especially being a manager, like you need to know what's happening right now. Like, okay.
My best friend in Hawaii, she was a game manager or game manager at GameStop. So she was it was something. I think she told me she had somebody getting mad because they wouldn't take in their like half destroyed controller or something. It was like really weird. Let me see. I think I can.
Yep, I've had that. With many stories. I was the manager for 2.5 years.
That's all right. So let me show you this. So it's not long. It's like a minute, almost 2 minutes, but I think you might like it. So this was Gamescom about I think I said 3 weeks ago. So. So real quick, the people behind the game are actually working with John Carpenter and many of the original people behind the first Halloween, and so that's even got me more excited.
A quiet town, just like hundreds of other small towns all across America. A town just like yours. But it was here, on October 31st, 1963. No motive, no warning, no provocation, just senseless death. I met him 15 years ago. I thought there was hope, that he could be reached. But what I met was not a child, no emotion, perhaps not even human. 15 years later, he returned home. But what happened that night was only the beginning. It wasn't just a killing spree, it was a reckoning.
Whoa, calm down. He was going to reach
What was that?
You can't stop him. You can't reason with him. You can't kill the boogeyman.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm excited for it.
That's amazing. You said it's by indie developers, right?
Let me see. I've not. These are probably not made by indie developers. I'm not familiar with the company. Let's see. Compass, Further Front, Gun. I'm not familiar with their name. This could be an indie company for all I know. But
Still.
yeah, I'm beyond excited. So that's something I am pretty excited about.
Yeah, that looked incredible and chilling, just like the original trailer was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what, this is gonna be good. And then there's Silent Hill F that's actually coming out in 2 weeks. I'm gonna play it eventually, but it's not like on my. I'm so backed up with games, so it's so hard to like get into like the new stuff when I'm like, you know what, I already got this plan, I already got this going, so we'll get around to it.
I have such a long backlog too. I actually am finally going down my list of backlog. I'm playing through God of War Ragnarok right now, so getting through it at least.
Because I still need. Cause I played a little bit of Baldur's Gate 3, but I haven't beaten it. I gotta do that. I really want to play Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Okay.
But like right now, we're like on the channel. Number one, we're doing live streams of Skyrim right now, and then two, I have like small playthroughs of the 2007 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game for the PlayStation 2.
That one's good. I like that one.
And so that's also what I'm doing at the moment. So I was like, I'll get to these games eventually. Now we're to put everything on hold just for the month of October, Halloween stuff, and so it's all over the place.
I understand that. I'm also in the Helldivers community, so I've been trying to get through God of War Ragnarok while they just did the OSD with Halo.
Oh yeah, that came out.
Which one?
So,
yeah.
I've seen plenty of people play because they added like a couple of new like creatures and stuff like that, like a giant death worm or something like that. I was like, I would not enjoy it.
Yeah, you have the Gloom. You have
that's what it's called.
Yep, they have the giant worm that is only one per planet. So basically, if you land on the planet and it's in your gameplay, you're the only one on the planet that has it.
Oh wow!
And you can't kill it. I think they said it's like 20 hell bombs, which a hell bomb blows an entire like crater into the map.
Oh gosh!
To kill it. And then there's dragons as well.
Oh,
they just recently added that spew acid at you.
People were all hyped up with that game when it first came out. Like it was, I would go on TikTok and I would just see people getting mad at each other. Like, guys, we just conquered this planet. How's it already almost reconquered? And it's just, I loved it.
It's a big co-op mission that you work together to try to get the enemy forces back and off of these planets that the Helldivers are trying to liberate, what they like to call this. It's one big sarcastic joke about liberation.
Oh yeah,
democracy, yeah. But I love it. It's so funny. So much humor in that game.
I love it. As we get ready to like wrap up, you mentioned that you also do it might be with the nonprofit, but you mentioned that you also do mental health based things as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
So besides the nonprofit, what I do is I'm trying to do this more often. I have a hard time spelling out like what I'm trying to say, like what point I'm trying to make when I'm making just one-on-one talking videos. A podcast and everything like that, I can do relatively well. I'm still kind of new to it. But in terms of making videos about like certain topics, I do better with writing than I do speaking. So
Oh, okay.
I've been working on bettering that, and again, doing it scared of trying to talk on topics like Saturday. September is Suicide Awareness Month, suicide prevention and awareness. So I did a video on that, and I used myself and using cosplay as a way to express myself. I went from me into a cosplay transition of Lucifer from Hazbin Hotel, and talked about the statistics of suicide, and talked about you're not alone. I do stuff like that. I do motivations, talking about like if you want to see cosplays that people wear to competitions, use the search bar. Don't go to a random cosplayer's page. You're like, here you'll find people who are doing it for fun. Cosplay is not a competition. There's places for that. You could do a sport in your backyard and not do it for competition. Cosplay works the same way, because again, it's art. So that's the kind of stuff that I talk about. Very serious issues within the cosplay community.
Okay. That's good. I mean, it's good to have things like that, because like obviously mental health is something that a lot of people don't really take serious nowadays, and oftentimes it's good just to unplug for a little bit and just play some video games or something and just take a break. So I always try to like tell people, definitely take a break. There's nothing wrong with taking a week off from content creating, things like that. Because it could be draining. It could be very draining. So especially like if you're like a big time content creator, you have thousands of followers and things like that. So definitely prioritize your health above all else.
For sure.
But that is basically the end, guys. Let me bring it up. But how can they follow and support you?
So you can follow me on TikTok, Instagram. I'm on Blue Sky. I do sometimes dabble on Red Note and Lemon 8, but I kind of have been more posting on just the top 3. I do have a Patreon that also has a bit more of my content that I discarded, any drafts that I have, any whips, and I also post start to finish how I made a cosplay for maybe more of the higher tiers, because I do go into really in-depth detail there. But I also do have a server that I made for anything that I couldn't post on Patreon due to technical issues. Technology does not like me, so I have that just in case. And it also is a community there that you can join without being a patron. I'm actually currently working on moving it to become a follower-based Discord versus just a Patreon Discord. I also am in another server that is mostly Helloverse, and I work as a moderator on there, and I would help teach cosplay workshops. I share cosplay resources that you can also find on my Patreon. The server link for that is also on my link tree, which is what we have pulled up over here. And if you are interested in helping me out and helping fund my cosplays, I do also have a Ko-Fi. And I do Twitch. I completely forgot about Twitch. Yes, video games on Twitch. Mostly Helldivers right now, but I'm once Sonic Racing Crossroads comes out, I'm going to be going through a playthrough of that.
Like that. And then obviously, as per usual here, I do have some videos coming out here on the Nerd Talk channel, and then obviously we're doing Skyrim, Ninja Turtles over on the gaming channel, and then Rumble. I think I should have something for Rumble within the next few days, exclusively for there. But we'll see. We'll see how things are going. But and then last but not least, by the time you are watching this, we will be getting ready for our live stream event that is on September 20th. Myself and my co-host, we are gonna have about 6 cosplayers come on. These are cosplayers who were previously on the Nerd Talk channel. Yes. Yeah, all of them previously have been on the channel before, and so we're just going to hang out for an hour or two, just talk about cosplaying, content creation, that kind of stuff. Some of them will be wearing cosplays, so you definitely don't want to miss out on that. But definitely check that out. It'll be September 20th. I don't think there's anything else. Other than that, guys, we are all good. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. I'll leave besides what the link tree that I showed, I will leave links down in the description below to both our Instagrams, channels, and things like that, so you can go and follow. But guys, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video. You guys have a good one.